welcome, folks. Not that anyone's actually here yet, but uh, got Moose with me here for the first time in a few stream casts, and yeah, well, let's talk about week 8. Um,
We'll jump into it.
yeah, what say we do? Oh, that's the wrong season. Always the wrong season. Um, should we check out the Americas first?
Sure.
All right. Week 8, so we had Serial Slayers and Dark Elves Rising up first.
hmm
Um,
1-2 in favor of Big A. Or sorry, Open Eye. Open
yep,
Eye won this one.
yep, picked that up. And it looked like he got 40 blocks on Serial Slayers and 26 on Dark Elves Rising. That was, um, I know was OpenEye was just talking in the channel about how he wants to kind of cut down on his blocks for to blocks against ratio.
hmm
Um, it seems like this one definitely, I mean, didn't lose enough to knock him out of the game by any means, but certainly
Oh no, yeah,
took some armor breaks.
yeah. He took some armor breaks, but it doesn't look like it resulted in too much. Just three KOs and one casualty.
Yeah,
Definitely not the dice Big A was looking for
no,
sure.
you'd think he'd have gotten more with the he's got 3 Mighty Blow on his team.
hmm
Um, so yeah, just didn't dice were not working for him. Looks like the
hmm
Witch Elf picked up a level up. I wonder
Ooh,
how
agility. Ooh.
did he get at did he get was the Agi from this level or was that from
Nope.
the yeah, that
Nope.
was the previous level.
Yeah,
How
that
did
was
he
pretty. Yeah, yeah. The Agi up witch elf is the one that got the level. Is what I was saying. My
Oh,
bad.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Looks like he picked up block for that for his
Block.
game.
Oh, definitely. That's super
Uh,
nice.
he just finished a game with against Valia, so
Mm,
uh, but yeah, so block on the Witch Elf, definitely a key pickup.
excuse me.
Um, yeah, not much else to say about that. A little, I mean, a rough end to Big A's season. Coming off the championship on in college, he definitely
hmm
is just has struggled to find his footing here in minors. It seems like.
hmm
Uh,
Yeah, yeah. Just hit. Yeah. I've watched a few of his games, and his block dice have been pretty poor throughout.
mm,
It's resulted in him just not getting the stuff he needed.
yeah,
Um, pushing forward.
that's unfortunate.
hmm I will mention he is 2 SPP off of that his killer piece getting another level, and I'm genuinely curious what that piece is gonna take
Yeah,
from here.
that piece is bonkers.
hmm
Um, I think he said it's the highest leveled piece in all of minors. Yeah, I mean
That's very
74
yeah yeah.
SPP.
hmm Yeah, he's got an insane blitzer.
Yeah, and picked up another Kaz and an MVP. How many MVP does that Blitzer have? Uh,
Should say
6. That Blitzer has 6
six.
MVP.
That's 30 SPP just from
Uh huh.
MVPs. Jeez.
6 MVP in 21 games played. Um,
Oof.
so yeah, that's crazy. And then he's got another blitzer that's gotten 4 MVP, and most of the rest of them have gone on his bobs. The man has an uncanny luck on his MVPs. I guess
Yeah,
he had
his
a
MVPs are actually not. I mean, it helps not having a ton of linemen for them to even
yeah,
go on. So,
true. He did looks like he had a dirty player that sucked up 2 early on, but
mm,
um, yeah,
yeah, it's this seems like yeah, it's just another unfortunate case of not getting the removals he needed to push forward,
yeah.
um, and thus not being able to push and get the scores that he needed. It looks
Uh,
like a lot of passing and such from Oh, there was an interception too.
Oh yeah.
For OpenEye.
Oh
OpenEye got an interception with his baby blitzer
wait.
in that game.
Oh, because the pass measurements are only for completed passes. So
Hmm.
oh man.
Yeah, so that was probably a desperation pass to tie it all up or something, and
Yeah,
just
something like that.
resulted in OpenEye picking it up, and OpenEye having the high movement blitzers
Oh
and
my.
glitch shells that it
Yeah, you
does, was able to just get away
he
probably
gets.
at that
I mean, if
point.
he gets the ball, then like it's really hard to stop him.
Hmm.
Um,
Especially his orcs.
yeah. Orcs with
Orcs
only
with
one tackle.
one tackle. Yep,
Yeah.
that'll do it.
Yep.
All right. That'll bring
Looks
us
like.
to our next one, which is mine.
Yeah, you're up next.
1-1 tie. This one was pretty opposite to our game in our game in postseason punch up. In our game in postseason punch up, I managed to smack the crap out of lead pipe. I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of a stomp. It was a stomp to the point where all he would do was try. At the end of the game, I was in a position where my ball was very much cornered off, and he couldn't get to it anymore. So he would
Yep.
just try to red die blitz my ogre with a peasant, and kept rolling. Just kept rolling skulls. So I managed. It was pretty funny. But yeah, this match definitely went a lot better for him. He managed to pull a kill on my guard tackle blitzer.
Yep.
It's very unfortunate. That was apothecary dead and dead too.
You've
After
had
that,
some rough. That's been some rough
past couple of games,
rough
yeah,
games. Yeah.
just losing players. I don't even have the cash to replace this blitzer quite yet, which is unfortunate. Um, but the MVP did land on the ogre, which is super nice. That's a potential
Yep.
um, casualty away from getting something going with him. Other than that, I made a couple of misplays, but it really came down to on the very last turn being unable to pick up the ball. My
It's the
age
worst.
old enemy
It's the
is picking up the
worst.
ball. I had a 3+ reroll to attempt to pick up the ball one turn, and I couldn't do it. Then Lead Pipe grabbed the ball and tried to go for it, pass it, and tripped. And I had one more chance to pick up the ball and put it in the touchdown zone for the win. And I rolled another two,
Oh
and I
no.
was very peeved by it.
Yeah, that's rough.
So win that almost was for me. It's just another game where a 3+ away from winning, just like our game the week
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
Other than that, it was a pretty clear cut game. We had about equal blocks. I actually had more blocks on him than he did me, and but he ended up with more armor breaks. Oh no, we suffered the same amount. He
Same
just
amount.
got more casualties than I did,
Yeah.
which worked in his favor pretty
Well, no,
well.
you but the so one of those must have been a foul because at least
Yes,
one of them was a
yes.
foul. Or
I believe
or
it was
both.
on the one of them was a foul. It was the sidestep
Uh-huh.
catcher, I believe, got the foul and he was punted out.
The other one was was the ground.
The other one,
Because
hmm?
you had three Kaz and
Oh, I guess
he
yeah,
only
I guess
dealt one of
another.
them. So
It might have
with
been
his
the
fists
ground.
anyway. Um,
I think it was another foul.
with another foul. I
He
mean
fouled quite a bit.
yeah,
He wasn't afraid to. So
he's got a boatload of peasants and double dirty player. So he like fouling is going to be his game. Um,
hmm it worked to his favor pretty well. Yeah, not much I can do versus that, especially when I don't get the removals I need on his
yeah.
players. I think I did manage to remove his one. I think I removed one of his blitzers that never came back.
Mm.
So that worked out pretty nice in my favor. But
Yep.
other than that, it was just very much we both just couldn't do what we needed to do.
Uh-huh. Well, next match is my match with Valea. Um,
The 1-0 win in
yeah,
favor of your
that went
toppling
uh,
giant.
much better than I expected it to, frankly. I don't even remember the details. It was like more than a week ago now, so my
Yeah,
my
yeah.
memory's a
Didn't you
little
guys
fuzzy.
also play it? Yeah, didn't you like play it and then immediately do a recap?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I did a recap at like
It
midnight
was like
30.
midnight.
It was yeah, that was a night. Um yeah, but I mean it was definitely like some I recall some desperation plays to get he stopped the score on my drive.
Hmm.
Um and then I think I got tangled up too much on sort of one side, like overcommitted a little too much and wasn't able to actually force my way through. Um and then but then I managed to pop the ball out uh and make some desperation plays really at the end to get the um
The 1 point.
I or wait how,
Because
the
looking at
end of
the
the game.
armor breaks and the KOs, like you were down to like nothing from the looks of it,
Yeah, I mean
essentially.
we were both running pretty low. um I think it was, I mean I have a big bench. Like I
Hmm.
was playing at 14, so
Hmm.
um and I had some KOs come back.
Hmm.
But yeah, definitely I was running low on pieces, and I must have scored pretty on the early side. Who scored?
Your runner did.
The runner, yeah, the guard runner. I think I might have scored early, or maybe I did score late in the first drive.
Hmm.
Um, because the thing I specifically remember is the like end of the game, as he was like got his players down right near the end zone, being able to pop it out and then like punt it upfield to a point where he like couldn't possibly get it downfield
Hmm.
fast enough to tie up the game. Um, that was the like was it like when that punt went off without fumbling it like around the person I was throwing with. I was like that was when
Hmm.
I knew I had the game, and
That's awesome.
uh, some level of disbelief. MVP did not go on the dirty player guard lineman, so that's
Hmm.
fine. um,
And instead, it popped out on your tackle lineman
Tackle
instead.
lineman, I'll take it. And then the runner is leveled up. I haven't rolled him yet. I need to do that.
Hmm.
Um,
That's gonna be a nice level. So
yeah.
I believe they're agi levels, right? So you could get dodge.
Yep. Yep. Dodge would be the probably the pick on normals.
Hmm.
Probably yeah. I mean honestly, it might be me. I might be the pick on anything. Uh,
Yeah, you could debate between dodge and sidestep, honestly, in this
yeah.
case,
Yeah.
just because we're getting at that point where dodge is starting to slowly get. You're starting to see a lot more tackles
Right. Right.
in the in all the leagues
Um,
and majors. You're going to see it everywhere.
yeah.
So it's a
Um,
consideration.
yep. Yep.
Anyways, that's awesome. Uh, that's the one loss for Valia.
Yeah. Not enough to keep me in the playoff running, but
Hmm.
we'll see how it goes. Next up, so we got Natural Iceman and the Skull Raisers. So King Fu is on a tear. He's looking to looking to get himself a playoff spot if he can beat me this week.
Hmm.
Um,
If he wins, it's guaranteed.
yeah,
It's if he draws or loses. I think if
right.
he draws, he might. I'm not sure. I can't remember the exact math.
It looks like so um he's got 16. Zon Fishing has 15. So if
Mm.
he
If he
draws
draws,
and Zon Fishing wins. If he doesn't win and Zon Fishing wins, then
then
he's
it
out.
goes to Lofty.
Right. If they both tie or Zon Fishing loses, then it goes to Iceman.
Hmm.
Um,
I think if Icemen lose and Lofty or Zon Fishing wins, or sorry, draws, it goes to Lofty as well.
they are actually so they're tied on TDs, and
But if
Lofty has
the
lost
natural,
more games.
actually, what you're not taking into account is if the natural Icemen lose,
Yeah.
they lose TD.
Oh, fair. That's a good point.
So
Yep.
yeah, he would go down 1 or 2 points, and then that's it. Lofty would win.
Right. Yeah, that's
So
true.
yeah, yeah. Anyways,
Um,
um, looking at the
versus.
game, that's a ton of blocks from both sides.
Oh yeah.
Jeez. 62 versus 48,
Yep.
and then very equal armor breaks on both sides.
And
My goodness.
similar cas rates, several surfs. Yeah, this was a
It
bashy
looks like
game. Uh,
Skull Raisers managed to make it out with a lot of regen rolls. It looks like
mm, yep.
because I only see the one nickel
Yeah,
in the guard
the
pool,
one cash is yeah the one cas is definitely nothing to.
and he got a level on the Blodge Mummy. That's terrifying.
Yeah, that
In
mummy's
fact,
crazy.
all the casualties came from those two mummies.
Yep.
Jeez.
I mean the mummies are yeah, you just don't want to tangle with them as
No,
Norse.
no. I
They're
got lucky in my match versus him that I was able to just stay away from them.
yeah, they're just too they hit too hard and they're too hard to knock over. It's like yeah,
Ooh, what
uh,
a yucky MVP going to that dirty player lineman.
right?
The
I wonder
curse
what he's
for you
taking
guys.
on it. Yeah, I wonder if he's taken it yet.
Ooh, MNG on the
No, he
Yeti.
hasn't. Yeah, he's that was a rough injury for him. It's I'm glad I don't have to worry about it in our game.
Uh huh.
Uh,
That's pretty big in your favor.
he's gonna have a lot. I could easily see like a see him taking a I don't know Cheney or someone or like he's got a lot of a lot of inducements coming his way.
And he is
I think it's like a
1500.
three. It's like on gonna be on like on the order
Oh
of
wow,
300 in
340.
inducements. Yeah, I mean I'm gonna dump some
Minus,
because of
yeah, minus
um,
30.
yeah
So 310. Yeah, that
um,
could be a whole star player.
yeah
Anyways, that's next week. We'll
right.
get
We'll get there.
there.
Um,
Yeah, it just looks like a lot of the casualties that uh, Iceman got just didn't stick, and
yeah
Skull Player or Skull Raisers managed to put a lot of pressure on him. It was probably really close at the end.
yeah.
Um, yeah, wow, that's probably a fun match to watch. I'll probably go back and check it out.
Those
Mm-hmm.
the berserker and the runner did some. I mean the runner with both touchdowns and the berserker with three
Oh
cas.
yeah, that's
Like
3 cast. Yeah,
yeah
yeah, that's some work. King Fu said spent the whole game running from that Blodge mummy. Um,
I don't doubt
he
it.
also said, "What's the max number of bribes I can take?" I believe it's two, actually.
Is there actually a max? I wasn't sure. Why
I
is my
believe it's
chat
two.
not working? Irritating.
We might just need to reconnect the chat real quick. This
Yeah,
sometimes happens.
there we go. I'm doing it on
Um,
my phone, so it's like
yeah, yeah. The
inconsistent.
phone stuff acts funny.
Uh, anyhow, oh, there we go.
Brings us to our last match of the week: Super Jail and Zon Fishing.
Oops.
Two bribes and a Merc DP. That's
Gross.
one way to do it.
Gross. I'm not going into playoffs. You don't have to wreck my team.
I mean, it's playoffs on the line for him.
It is. That's
It's
true.
a good opportunity to go all out just to get in.
Yep. Um, so yeah, Zon Fishing picked that one up, 1-0. Um,
1-0, and not a super block heavy game, but definitely
yeah,
an armor break heavy game, kinda. Yeah, that's pretty. Like 6 armor breaks out of 28 blocks is pretty big.
both of them were getting hit by the ground, it looks like, or maybe by fouls. They both have
Potentially, yeah.
two more. Yeah, probably must have been fouls because I mean, there was the expulsion on Super Jail's side.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, that Lofty must have just been playing keep away
Hmm.
because I feel like, um, well, I don't know. Does block doesn't count pushes, right?
I think it does.
Does it
It
count
counts
pushes?
pushes. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I wasn't sure on
That's
that
why.
because.
That's why you
Oh, right.
Norse people have so many blocks. It's
Yeah.
because it
True.
counts pushes.
True. True.
Basically, anything that doesn't result in your player being knocked down by
Got
an
it.
attacker down,
Okay.
or above down where your guy goes down.
Yep.
It just looks like a game of both teams not really finding much in the way of armor breaks, so it was a lot of ball running around and playing keep away.
Yeah.
It looks like completions on both sides in an attempt to get something going, though. So,
I mean, those are both short. I wonder if those are just, well, probably
yeah.
not. No, probably not vanity pass because they're not really in. They're not on pieces that are like close to leveling. So yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Probably actually trying to do something with the passes.
Mm-hmm. No levels on either side either, so
No,
pretty boring game if I may.
certainly boring for us recappers. Probably perhaps less boring for the folks playing it.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Mhm. Yeah, I don't think there's much else to really say about this one.
no, I don't think so.
Uh, That'll bring us to the
On to
mixed
mix,
division.
yeah. Um,
What's going on over here?
well, we had another upset on the top of the bracket. Um,
Ooh, Althazar and Cobbs,
uh
but
huh.
Cobbs lost.
Yeah, I think Cobbs had won. I guess it tied their first game, so
Hmm.
hadn't won every game, but oh no, it tied a couple of games. All right, so they were not as undefeated as I thought they were,
Hmm.
but they had been sitting at the top of the bracket.
Right.
Um, so Alcazar coming in the underdog picked up Slibly, looks like.
Ooh.
Um, Crocs picked up the MVP for a level, so that's a pretty nice outcome.
Hmm.
And it looks like the Lizards just were persistent at getting Cobbs to base up, um, based on given the number, looking at the number of blocks that they took.
Yeah, and with 9 armor breaks, 13 applied to House of Windsor.
Yep.
That's quite a few
Yeah.
going on there, especially with 4 casualties. Looks like one was APO'd away, most likely.
Yep.
Uh, House of Cobb's got the MNG on their Blodge Tackle Blitzer. Um,
Mm.
I bet taking out that Leap Witch Elf was really nice.
Yeah. Yeah. That's not a piece
Um,
you want to have hanging around.
mhm. And looks like Althazar kept his own skinks relatively safe throughout this match, so that's very nice. Especially their blodge step skink,
Yep.
which I'm sure was very annoying for Cobbs.
Yeah. No doubt. Cobbs is a good number of good amount of tackle too. So
Yeah.
uh, probably more of a case of the Saurus like marching down the field
Hmm.
than the skink sort of doing a runaway.
Right, right.
Um,
Mhm.
Pretty even possession numbers though.
Yeah, it just looks like a case of cops couldn't push past the lizards, but the lizards were able to march down
Yep.
the field.
Yeah. So what is that? All right, Manhack and Massacre.
2-3 in favor of Massacre. That's
That's a
pretty big.
that's a
Wow, look
high-scoring
at
game for a pair
armor
of
breaks
human
are
coaches.
practically even too.
Yep.
2 expulsions on Manhack's side, 4 casualties on Massacre's side. Jeez. It looks like all the casualties weren't on key pieces though, minus
Yeah.
the tackle blitzer.
Yeah. One. I mean, he had another like the tackle lineman as well, so it wasn't. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, lost all those linos. Hayate getting a level
Getting a
up
level.
off the touchdown. Uh,
Doesn't look like he relied on the catchers too much this game. He tossed him to one to his blitzer, his rookie one at that.
oh, yep,
Even tossed a pass with his blotch step catcher. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it just looks like a case where uh, I think I remember seeing that Massacre just made some crazy plays at the end that worked in his favor. Might have been a case of a couple of one turns that happened.
mm-hmm.
Um,
I mean,
very possible.
they both have movement up pieces. So yeah,
Yeah, definitely. Probably the case in Manhack's side because he's got 2 touchdowns on that movement up
yeah,
catcher,
you're moving up
which
sprint
leveled.
catcher. Yeah,
3 casualties from that mighty blow, piling on blitzer of Manhack's.
yep, yep.
Very big.
Again, his those it's those three pieces that have been sucking up the SBP
Are
all
sucking
season
up the
are
SPP.
continue to do it. Uh,
Still doing it.
but
Mm-hmm.
nicely done on Massacre's part to pull
Mm-hmm.
off the pull off the win at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like he was able to hold on to the ball a lot. So,
Mm-hmm. I believe Forvisk pulled out, so this is a bye for
oh,
Major
yep,
the following week.
yep.
Mm-hmm. And that brings us to Torlar versus Toll 007. The Wild Skull Bashes versus uh, Magical Misery Tour. 1-1 tie. Excuse me. Um, Casualties looking even.
Despite way more
KOs.
armor breaks on the against
Yeah,
the
yeah.
undead
20 arm
or the
breaks.
necro.
Yeah,
20
that's
net.
quite a few.
Yeah.
That's
Um,
probably really frustrating because there's only well, there was 9 KOs on Magical Misery Tour
yeah.
and 2 casualties. That's 11 players gone. Um, Only badly hurt that's stuck on um, Magical Misery was the zombie. Mm-hmm.
And it looks like the Mighty Blow Wolf was
Did something.
doing the bashing on the other side. It looks like, given
Yeah,
that
picking up a level as well.
7 armor breaks into 2 Kaz is I guess 4. Do the KOs and the Kaz those count? Those are separate, right? It doesn't count.
KOs and Kazs are separate.
Yeah.
They yeah
They
yeah
don't.
they're separate.
So it's not. It was 4 players out at some point.
Hmm.
Yeah. But Apode 1, dirty player Lino, just losing some movement. Um, and leveled up the guard blitzers. Not a bad thing coming out of that. I,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so that's
Mm-hmm. Getting a level on that rookie white is really nice through the MVP.
yep, yep.
That'll be nice to finally get that piece going.
And the wolf picking the primary
Mighty
wolf picking
Blow.
up another level
Mm-hmm.
as well as.
Potentially a
Do we see a pylon?
might be. I think
Oh, you have to
strength
roll
is a.
strength. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
That's a doubles.
yeah,
So I believe that'll probably be. It could be a jump up, could be dodge.
yeah.
I wouldn't be too surprised by either pick.
Dodge seems stronger in this. Like the jump up is good if you've gotten the pylon.
Mm-hmm.
Less clear to me if it's good without that.
Mm-hmm. It must be nice to have the privilege of just having jump
It is.
up.
Those blitzers are pretty sweet.
All
Um,
right, and that brings us to our last match in mixed Orkin Beans versus the Blizzard Blizzards. 2-1 in favor of Orkin Beans. I'm sure that was a big one because I believe
yeah, Blizzard
isn't
Lizards
Amazing
was
Zoro one
top
of
of
the
the. Yep,
yeah.
yep. I mean he's still up there, but
Right,
certainly
right. That
uh,
probably was kind of an upset.
yeah. Well, it looks like Organ Beans is um, fifth now, so it's only a few steps down the chart. Um,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah, looks like the Lizards didn't get a lot of blocks off. Um,
50 versus 38.
I wonder if the badly hurt on the Mighty Blowsaurus was early, and the Crocs like those two pieces getting cast off are
Mm-hmm.
could have
The
contributed a
movement bust
lot
on
of
that Crocs
strength
is really
issues.
bad. Yeah, yeah, for
Um,
sure. Especially in a matchup where the orcs have the 5 strength. They're able to start evening out the odds,
yeah,
and that double agility up skink MNG probably hurt a little too.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, those are some key pieces to take off the team.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the orcs have plenty of guard to sort of compensate for the Saurus strength too. So
Mm-hmm. So
um,
it's probably just a case of getting out muscled after a point.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, no.
No levels
Yeah.
over there for the orcs, but there is one Saurus level for the Blizzard Lizards. The Block Saurus picking up the MVP
He's got a good spread of SPP on his Saurus.
for sure. Yes, he does. He's
Getting
got a pretty decently leveled team.
yeah.
Definitely a little bit of skink SPP hog, but there's only so much you can do, especially when his skinks are picking up good levels. Because block is a doubles roll
Right. Block,
and
double agi.
two
Yeah,
double
there's
agi. Yeah.
definitely not much to complain about on those
Oh,
skink
and
levels.
yeah, that skink also got another doubles into a sure hands. So yeah, he's
Yep.
got some good skinks.
Yep. And they've stayed alive pretty successfully too. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It was probably a little hard for Slow Rider to get the damage on the skinks without any tackle on his team whatsoever.
yep.
So
Yep.
most of the damage probably came through. It looks like there's an expulsion on the Blizzard Lizard side that probably didn't connect anything.
Yeah.
Um, so and 3 casualties on the Blizzard Lizards. So there was probably a foul somewhere in there from Orkin Beans to
Yep. Yep.
and then. it just kind of snowballed from there.
Yeah, I mean, Orc and Bean's not taking any removals is
Hmm.
uh,
Just to no, yeah, no, literally zero. Not even
literally
anything
zero. I
low.
mean, only four armor breaks off of the 38 blocks. So
Orcs doing what orcs do.
yeah, yeah.
Yep, that wraps up mixed, bringing us into the final week of
Week
minors,
9.
the all important week. Mm-mm. Definitely a few cases of um people. Uh, this is definitely nothing. I don't think mixed is very cut and dry either. It's pretty close between a lot of people, isn't it? For
Mixed
playoffs.
has four contenders at this point.
Hmm.
Um, so it's a House of Windsor, Blizzard Lizards,
Hmm.
and Emperor Chosen are all
Hmm.
theoretically in the running still. Um,
Hmm.
except that no, so Emperor's Chosen can't actually make it in because even if they win, even if
Hmm.
Massacre wins his game, he'll be tied with Itza and House of Windsor. But is I guess in theory, if he got a touchdown differential of +3 on his last game, he could get higher than Itza's touchdown differential. But it's a long shot.
Yeah, a
Um,
little bit of a.
and then
Hmm.
House of Windsor it's a pretty similar situation to whoever it was to I feel like we talked about something else. Anyway, so they're at 15, so um, they have to win their game uh,
Hmm.
to get it to make it in, and then Itza and House of Windsor have to lose.
Hmm.
One of those two would have to lose for Blizzard Lizards to make it in.
Hmm.
Um, Now, interestingly, Emperor is chosen and House of Windsor are playing each other uh,
Hmm.
in the last week, but the Lizards are both playing Orcs uh, down standings.
Hmm. All right, let's delve into it then.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, first match. It's a lot of lizards and orc and beans. A team value difference of only 70K in favor of orc and beans. So it's a lot of lizards getting 70K inducement
Hmm.
money.
I'm actually a little surprised by that. Itza must be running fairly lean, or maybe just
Hmm.
hasn't played. Oh, Itza hasn't played that many games on this team. It looks like
Hmm.
18 being
There's.
the highest number of games played on any of his pieces, and
Hmm.
he's lost a
Hmm.
lot of pieces. Holy wow!
Just
It's four
unlucky.
Saurus, a Crocs, three Skink. Like, yeah,
Goodness.
that's hard to assemble a team with that number of um,
Just stuff gone.
yeah. Um,
Hmm.
Doing well with what he's got though.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. Despite all that, getting some, uh, still, uh, keeping himself going. Uh, only one Saurus. Wow, that Saurus has played 18 games and only has 4 SPP. That's insane.
Yeah,
There's 18 games, 4 SPP, and then the Saurus right above him has only played 5 games and has 18 SPP. That's insane.
yep, that is
That's
kind of
kind of
ridiculous.
funny. Um, versus Slow Rider. Slow Rider having a pretty decent looking team right now.
Yeah,
Looks like he fired a goblin. He had 2 last
he
game,
did have
so
two last game. He didn't lose any, right? He didn't. They didn't get
nope,
eaten.
nope.
Um, hmm. Just trying to cut TV, perhaps.
Potentially. That's how much are goblins? 40? It
Yeah,
turns it from a 70K difference to yeah, it
it's
puts it
110.
down from 110. So
Yeah,
that's a whole babe or some.
yep.
It would
Um,
force lizards to dump money into inducements,
right.
which he probably wants to put into new skinks
Yeah.
so they don't run away with his MVPs.
Yeah. On the other hand, this would be the game to dump money into. Um,
Hmm.
like there's that uh, Blizzard Lizards is looking to pick up a position if Althazar doesn't at least tie.
Mm,
Um,
yeah. So if he wants to get in, this is the game.
yep. Um,
Hmm.
I mean,
In this matchup, there's a slow rider has quite a few guard in his favor.
yeah, he did, and
Um,
he did quite well in in the last one, right? That we were just looking at that,
hmm
and
hmm
he
Yeah, he
beat
won. He
the
beat the Blizzard Lizards,
yeah.
and they were a little. I'd argue they were a little more developed
Oh,
than
definitely a
Italata.
better developed team.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I would feel okay
So,
about
mhm.
giving the edge to Slow Rider here.
Slow rider, give him the edge. He's gonna take it all. He's gonna take it away from
Yeah,
the Blizzard, or sorry, the It's a lot of lizards. Yeah, I'd give it to him. The one you wouldn't expect to win. Hmm.
and it'd be a nice notch on his belt to have beaten the two top ranked Lizard teams
Lizard
back to
teams.
back weeks.
Hmm.
Um, oh man, I think the other Lizard team might lose as well. Look, I pulled them up, and
Ooh,
we're looking
also
at
against orcs. Yeah.
they've got they don't have enough to replace their Crocs.
It's,
Uh,
and the TV is 1440 versus 1480, so they'll have to throw money down to get anything.
yeah,
Yeah, they don't have enough to replace the Crocs. They don't. They do have enough to replace the movement bust Saurus, but I'm wondering if he's just going to hold on to that piece for now.
I mean it's got block. I don't think you worry.
Hmm.
I don't think you replace it this game.
Nah, probably not.
Um,
Yeah, you probably hold on to the. Probably hold on to your cash and try to win with what you have.
yeah,
Losing that double agility skink is probably hurts a little bit going into this.
yep,
Um, but he does have the block sure hand
right.
skink,
He's got a
so
couple other
it's not
skinks to
necessarily awful.
yeah, and Torlar only has the one tackle piece, so
Hmm.
it's he does have a Torlar does have a guard advantage,
Hmm.
and he's got the troll with guard as well, so
He
he's
also
not
won't
really
have
outstrengthed.
right. But he doesn't have the whatever they're called dirty player.
True.
Looks like he lost one of the dirty player in the previous week, and
Yep.
now this one is out this week. So uh, hopefully fouls aren't. Um, ideally, fouls aren't going to find the Blizzard Lizard this game.
Yeah.
But Torlar has expressed that he's very into putting the boot down into people. So
I mean, you got linemen. You like he I it wouldn't surprise to see him
go for it.
go
Yeah.
for it. Although he's only got 12 players. His bench is very limited.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah. So it looks like in terms of strength, the only thing the Blizzard Lizards are missing is the Crocs,
yeah.
which isn't.
Uh,
It's big, but it's not that massive.
yeah.
If he was missing another Saurus, then things would be looking a little ickier.
Right.
but right now he's pretty much on par in terms of I would say about on par. He has one more strength four
Yep.
um over uh
Right. Six
the
strength
wild
four
Skullbashes
versus four strength four and a strength
four
five.
exactly.
Um,
So I wouldn't say muscle is too huge of an issue.
yeah.
He will definitely have to be a little careful though in this match because it's one that could go south.
Yep.
Um,
Uh,
if Toralar can get some good hits in.
I just think it's hard. I think it's going to be hard to not like to stop him from getting good hits in because he's got
Oh
enough.
yeah,
He's got enough guard in there to. Um,
really push himself against him safely.
yeah. Yeah. So I.
And he's got the tackle killer blitzer that could chase down those skinks.
Right.
So the skinks um, are a little safer compared to I believe the yeah compared to the last game where Orc and Beans didn't have a single um,
Mm,
tackle piece.
right.
So the skinks won't be nearly as safe.
Yeah.
Definitely, this is definitely going to be a hard match for both teams. For yeah, I would say for both teams, it's going to be a match that's going to come down to whose armor 9 breaks first, and can Torlar get a hold of those skinks.
Uh huh.
So
I think. I think again. I like the orcs on this. In
yeah,
this one.
you think the Orcs
I.
got this one?
I do.
I'd give it to them. It's really going to come down to how well Torlar utilizes one tackle in this match.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd give it to the Orcs. Just shake it all up. This whole last week, it's going to be shooken up.
Yeah, we've got that,
Hmm.
and then we've got.
No match for Magical Misery Tour.
No.
It's a bye for them. A boring end to minors, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Uh, Deaderpool Reds and Men of the West just had their match.
Oh, did they?
Yep, they just finished a little bit ago. It was a 1-1 tie.
Oh, that's right. I remember seeing those results come through. Well, no
Everybody
need to
playing their
predict that
games
then.
way too.
Yeah,
Everybody playing their games way too early. Same in
indeed.
our division. The Leah facing Open Eye.
Yeah.
Um,
All right.
that'll
So,
bring us to Massacre versus Cobbs, Emperor's Chosen and House of Windsor.
similar TV.
Mm-hmm. Yep, similar TV, even with that MNG Blitzer. Mm-mm.
Cobbs has both witch elves in. So
Mm-hmm.
looking pretty healthy, all things considered.
3 tackle pieces, one of them with strip ball. So putting the ball in the hands of the catcher isn't necessarily safe
Yeah.
in this case. Strip ball presenting a pretty big threat should Massacre not be careful.
Yeah. And the.
Definitely a skill I've been thinking about picking up um, eventually.
Yeah. Yeah. It does. It's a nice thing to pick up when you can find a piece to put it on.
Hmm.
Uh,
Let's
Thrower
see.
has sure hands though, so
Yeah, so if he keeps it, yeah, he has a pretty Massacre has a really good thrower. It's got movement up and block. So
yeah.
keep if he just keeps it in that hand, he won't be outpaced. So he'd be able to hold on to it until you literally get into the position to score, and you pitch
Right.
it to our catcher and run off with it.
Right.
Mm. In terms of development, House of Windsor definitely has the edge there. Well, specifically with these 4 players, they're all really developed. One of them was strength up.
Yeah.
In comparison, Massacre has some interesting levels, like the strength up blitzer whose movement busted. He's got two tackle, and the lineman has block tackle. The agi up lineman's really weird. There's just this weirdo in the middle there that I always see and kind of squint at a little. um, Catchers both have block. One was sidestep, so nothing crazy with the catchers. Um, I mean, Massacre's games go crazy, so it's hard to really pin down what exactly is going to happen though.
Yeah, I feel like this one. I mean, I would say I feel like conventionally this one should probably go to the elves, and so it's
Yeah,
really a
I would
question
go
of,
with the Dark Elves.
uh, yeah, whether anything totally wacko happens.
Right.
Um,
I mean, sixes happen
Sixes happen, and I mean he had a
and ones happen.
three scores against Men of the West last week, so
And Manhack's known
uh,
for his one turns and very
yeah,
good scoring. So I would not say this is a dead giveaway game, but I'd give it
no,
to the Dark Elves.
yep,
So
I'm with you
that's
there.
us saying House of Windsor is getting into playoffs.
Right, if that happened, we would see, yeah, it would be House of Windsor, um, and then It's a Lot of Lizards would be the if all the predictions go as we made them, it would be House of Windsor one, It's a two, and then uh, they would be our that would be our playoff seeds.
Mm-hmm. All right, that brings us to the Americas weekend.
Yeah.
Open Eye and Goddess just played. Valia, it was a tie.
Yep.
Valia is officially in playoffs, even though they were officially in last week.
Yeah.
So that brings us to our next game: Skull Raisers and Dope Deer of
Mm-hmm.
Sigmarsheim. Another even TV, which I'm sure Lead Pipe doesn't like to see. Um, the guard ghoul out for this game.
So down to only one
Kind of
guard on the
hurts,
mummy.
but it
Um,
is on the mummy,
it is on the
and
mummy.
he hasn't taken the blodge mummy's level quite
Oh,
yet.
right. Yep.
Probably gonna be guard. That mummy's gonna be hard to move.
Yeah.
As soon as it gets guard stand firm, that thing's disgusting.
Go, man.
He could even potentially take break tackle and just go wherever he wants.
Right.
Um,
Um, yeah, go wherever he wants as long as he's only moving 3 squares a turn. Uh,
next, and
think about
versus.
so the
Go
thing
ahead.
about lead pipe is that the like he wants to be doing a lot of fouling, but I that's not a like that's a thing that's gonna you're gonna struggle with against undead in the same way that Norse struggles against undead. They usually have such big benches that
Mm-hmm.
like it's hard to really
Get a
get
player
that
advantage.
snowball advantage going at all.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So it's just hoping you get enough room, wiggle room to push to the end zone
yeah.
essentially,
Yep.
and you just got to get lucky like I did versus Heldrum. That's literally what happened. Is I just got two very key armor breaks that got me through.
Right. Um,
Um,
on the other hand, I mean, there's only so Leo the Barber and the zombie and one of the whites have tackle, but that's it. So the blitzers
mm,
are safe-ish,
mm,
um,
ish.
ish. I mean, the white,
I
yeah, the
mean
white has
that
mighty
white
blows,
does
so
have mighty blow, so it could get his hand on a blitzer pretty easily.
yeah,
So I would imagine if anything falls over, lead pipe's gonna walk over and step on them. So it's definitely something to watch out for Heldrum.
yeah,
Lead
absolutely.
pipe definitely has an interest in stepping on people.
Um, as far as
Mhm.
predictions go, I feel like this. think I'm leaning towards Heldrum on this one.
I am too. I believe Haldrum is going to take this one. Um, if not for anything else, by pure virtue of there only being one tackle on lead pipe side,
Yeah.
so the ghouls are relatively safe,
Yep.
and the mummy's not getting pushed over by any means.
Right.
Yeah. Basically, if Heldrum hangs out with his mummies, he's gonna get some good stuff going for him.
Oh
I
wow.
mean,
Both
you
teams
can't
have a ton of cash on hand. I just noticed. 210 and
190k.
210 and
Oh,
190.
oh yeah, they'll both
Uh,
shorten down a little bit.
yeah.
Oh, so the Skull Raisers are the underdog in this case,
Yep.
like quite a bit.
Yeah. They'll be down at. It'll be like. It'll be like 50 between them.
Mhm.
So.
Unless Lead Pipe sells a lineman
Yeah.
which I would
Seems.
do because he has quite a bit.
I mean, but he seems like he wants to be running a big bench.
Sure. Yeah, I'd give this to Heldrum. I think he's got this.
Yeah, I think so.
Good luck.
Let's see.
An important game, Lofty versus Big A,
Oh yeah.
already scheduled for 2 days from now. 1670 TV for Lofty and 1590 for Big A.
So the trickiest thing for Big A here is that he doesn't have any. He's only got the one tackle on that
Hmm.
on that blitzer.
I will
Um,
say that didn't stop Big A from stomping Lofty in college playoffs.
fair.
Yeah, yeah. I just feel like I want to point that out right now.
I wonder how. I mean, the like, how many of the three different strength up pieces did Lofty have at that point?
Pro- yeah, he really does have three strength
He
up
really
pieces.
does. Yep. Um,
Crazy. Mm-mm. And a ton of guard on Lofty's side.
the
Four
answer
guard.
is he had one strength up piece in there the last
Oh,
time they played.
huh.
Um,
Not nearly as beefy as he is now.
no. Um,
So I can't say that. It looks like Big A finally did it. He got rid of his troll.
oh,
He was talking about potentially doing it. And looks like he did. He's
yep.
got three linemen, no troll, uh, four developed bobs, uh, all with three with guard, one two SPP away from guard. He's got one, two, three mighty blow blitzers. So he's got the one tackle piece, and he's got the strength up blodge blitzer. And he got the dodge on his thrower as well, so the thrower's a
Mm,
little bit better too.
mm-hmm.
This is definitely a match to watch, though. I'm
Yeah.
really interested in watching this one. Um, mm-mm.
I feel like trying to punch Lofty is real hard.
It's gonna be
Like
hard for sure.
I
Like you
definitely
either
struggled in when
roll sixes or bust kind of deal.
yeah. Well, and just the fact that he's got those strength up pieces
Hmm.
and enough guard, like it's just
Get the
hard to
fists.
get purchase. Yeah, when you're trying to land punches.
Hmm.
Like you really want to be rolling all the two dice you can get, and it's
Hmm.
hard to get that many. Um,
Hmm. I will say it would be easier for the Serial Slayers to find it, because they do have four strength, or sorry, five strength fours,
true, true.
in this case versus the three strength fours.
Yep.
So I wouldn't say it's impossible, but it's definitely going to be harder to do so. In terms of movement, Big A's a little slower, but it's not like Amazon's run a marathon
Yeah,
very
no,
well.
Zons are not the speediest of pieces.
So this is definitely going to be a match to watch, I think.
Yeah,
But knowing Big A's dice this season, Lofty's going to take this one.
I yeah, I was gonna give it to Lofty, even not even discounting Big A's
Terrible
rough luck
dice.
these days.
Yeah, yeah. Big A played me, and then started getting the bad dice all the time. I thought he was just whining about bad games, but then I watched one of his games, and it's pretty rough.
Yeah,
Like it's not fair when you roll dub skulls like 4 or 5 times a game, a
yeah,
match. Like there's only so much you can do and so many rerolls to save yourself.
right.
But yeah, that brings us to my match.
Uh-huh.
Finally get to face another Orcs. Um, I'm a little worse for wear going into this match. Definitely not as good as I could have been. After losing the Agi plus thrower and the guard tackle
Right.
blitzer.
Yeah.
But I still have a rather developed team.
Yeah, definitely.
Versus Super Jail, who's had a pretty rough season from what I can see. They finally got rid of the double at. They got rid of some of their armor busted pieces finally. Um, and after doing that, kind of barren in terms of development. They do have a block troll though, and that's always spooky.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
yeah, skills are kind of thin on the ground.
mhm.
Um,
Versus what I have, zero tackle anywhere on this team. So ideally, getting rid of my dodge pieces is going to be super hard.
yeah.
Um,
And
and I
only
have
two
yeah,
guard.
2 guard versus my
You've got
three that I
three.
have. Um, Definitely a match that's going to be harder for him than I think it'll be for me.
Yeah.
As long as I play it relatively safe and not get punched by the 2 mighty blow pieces too heavily.
Right. I mean,
Um,
that's always the don't get
Goal.
blown up is it's pretty much a condition of unless you're playing elves. Um,
And then it's just don't get blown up too hard.
right.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think I'll take this one
yeah,
though. I'm pretty
I
confident
like
going into
your
this one.
chances here.
Yeah, I want to go out with a bang at least, since I believe this is going to be Big Flexen's last game.
Uh huh.
So I
You're
want to believe it'll be a good fun match.
have you decided what you're taking into the big
Not quite,
leagues?
not quite. I'm going to play dwarves and upstarts and make a decision from there.
Okay.
Right now it's between lizards, dwarves, and necro.
Yep.
Necro is the closest to humans in terms of speed
Right.
and having versatile units.
Yep.
Lizards just seemed kind of fun to play because 7 strength 4 or sorry 7 strength 4 plus pieces always sounds like fun.
Yeah. Yep.
And then dwarves also sounded really like it'd be just like a departure from everything I know. So it'd be an interesting experience.
Yeah. It makes
And
sense to play him.
it might even potentially be what I end up playing a lot of. Who knows?
Right.
Because I hate elves, and I get to have that tackle right now. That's awesome. Pretty boring when you're the Amazons, huh, Valia? Anyways, that brings us to the last match of week 9, and it's an important one as well. King Fu
Yeah.
versus you.
Yep. So
Um,
he's
have
gonna get a lot of inducements. Even after I
yeah,
spend down, we're
300.
looking at 310.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
310 in inducements. Um what do you guys get in terms of star players? Is it like Cheney? I
yeah,
heard you mention
Cheney I
Cheney.
think is the the thing about Cheney is I don't actually know how much he costs. So I don't know if
Mm.
310 is. Uh, there's also what's the bomb thrower is a frequent like
Oh, him?
um just because he's got more armor than
Yeah, he's AV9, I believe.
yeah. Yeah, so Cheney's 240, so he could easily take Cheney and like a Babe,
Mm.
or Cheney and Boomer. Um, I don't think there's any other pieces that he'd really want star player
Right.
wise. Um, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he comes out with.
Mm-hmm.
Um, our teams are pretty similarly developed. Like I mean, there's a lot of the same pieces. I have a little more guard than he does. I have a lot
Mm-hmm.
more guard than he does actually. He's just got the one guard Ulf right now.
Mm.
Um, and then um, he does have mighty blow on one of his Ulfs,
Mm-hmm.
uh, but doesn't
Mighty
have it on
Blow guard.
one of his berserkers. So that's actually
Mm-hmm.
fairly similar. Um,
Yeah, Mighty Blow case. You kind of out Mighty Blow him at the moment just because you have your
right, I've got
Yeti
the
and
Yeti.
he doesn't.
Yeah.
That
Um,
and the Yeti might play a big role here. Maybe. I mean, it's Mighty Blow. Basically, Mighty Blow might be what determines this match,
right.
since you're both armor 7.
A lot of AV7 flying around. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Mighty Blow could
This is.
it's whoever ends up down in numbers early, I think is going to be the like if one of us gets a snowball started, it's going to be hard to come
Come
back
back.
from.
Mm,
Um, but yeah, I mean I think it could pretty easily go either way, honestly.
mm-hmm. Just
Um,
because of the nature of Norse.
yeah. But I do like. I think the fact that his Yeti is out and he's going to be playing the inducement game instead, I just think that that's going to give me a bit of an
Trouble.
edge. Um,
Oh, an edge. Yeah.
yeah, I think so
And
because I just don't think you're the. I'm not sure the players he's going to get are going to make up for the sort of strength
now he
and
did
mighty blow
mention he
loss.
might scum for Ice Pelt, 330k.
Oh, uh huh.
Then that's a strength 6 piece.
Yep. Well, that would be an interesting. That would be interesting to play against.
It
Uh,
sounds
no.
like he's a Yeti, but
Yeah, yeah.
stronger.
I think he looks like the star player Yeti. So, yeah. I mean, strength six would be. I have to leverage my guard a little bit more on that, I guess. Um, I wish the Rebbrl. I wish Rebbrl had the skills
Yeah, on the star players.
on the star players. I'm
It's
curious.
nice to have a succinct list of these players, but man,
Yeah,
no skills. Like I'm just lacking a little bit of knowledge here, just a smidge.
regen and thick skull
Mm-mm.
on top of. So gonna be hard. Gonna be a hard piece to take off. Would be a hard piece to take off, but also
Mm-hmm.
pretty unreliable since it is lacking block and
No
mighty
block.
blow. No block, no mighty blow. So it would be a piece that I would just need like, yeah. I mean, I guess it's easier to get the three dice with it, but
Mm.
um, I don't know. I feel like Cheney's a pretty good piece just from the like that extra movement
Mm-hmm.
and catch can be a
Yeah, I like Cheney. Cheney's an interesting one.
nice piece to work with. So yeah, we'll see. We're playing on Monday, Monday night, so relatively late
Monday
in the
in the
week
cycle.
compared to my last couple of games that have been like before the
Immediately.
recap. Yeah, exactly. Um,
This is really going to come down to whose armor holds and whose doesn't.
Yeah.
And you got a slight edge in that by having a little bit more armor, or sorry, mighty blow. Um, and that mighty blow being on your berserker piece as well could
Yeah.
potentially lead to issues if he's not careful. Um,
Well,
oh,
then there's perhaps the argument that I'm due for my there's the gambler's fallacy argument, since I've historically taken the least number of Kaz on average in our division and done the most number of Kaz. Maybe I'm due for a reversal of fortunes,
due for you to get punched.
and I'll get snowballed into obscurity. Uh,
I'd give it to you. You got this.
yeah, I'm feeling good about it, and I think
Knock him
it's
out.
going to be a
That
fun
upsets
game.
the whole depart. Whole that upsets
Uh,
into Lofty potentially taking it.
yeah, I mean, there's a uh, yeah, I mean that's really it's like Lofty or Iceman. I guess who did we say? Did we say Lofty was gonna win?
Uh, I can't remember.
We did. Yeah, we were predicting Lofty over Big A.
Oh yeah, because Big
Um,
A's bad dice.
yeah. Um,
King Fu said, "I've also taken the most number of Kaz in our division, so
uh-huh.
that doesn't bode well for me." So, hey, it's
now,
time to play your roles.
now how does that? Okay, so Kaz 39. I mean, looking at the Kaz inflict, how does that actually make sense? Oh, you must have had a lot more Kaz last season,
Most likely.
because you've got more Kaz on your team than I do, inflicted,
Hmm.
and then also more Kaz sustained. It looks like. Um, yeah, it'll be an interesting game. Uh,
Yeah, I'll give it to you. You got this.
all right, I'll take
Knock
it.
King Fu out. Do it for me. He snowballed me in my first game at the minors. I call it the recapper's revenge.
There we go.
But good luck to both of you. I'll definitely try to tune into it. It definitely
Nice.
seems like an exciting match.
Yeah, I think it should be fun. Um, I think we've talked through most of the playoff
Yeah, that's
happenings.
mhm
EUB, I think, is really that's where the interesting playoff stuff is happening. Got like half
mhm.
their division that could still in theory take it. So
Yeah, yeah. I think the only people like some people have to lose and others have to win, but it's
yeah,
really close.
yeah, it'll narrow down pretty quickly as games start getting played in that
Mhm.
division. But um, as of right now, the field is open.
Oh wow, it looks like EUA is pretty decided though. It's
Yeah,
like
EUA
almost
is
completely. It's like the top three have a chance, and
right.
that's it.
Exactly. Um,
Too bad I won't be able to face Rico in the playoffs again. Immediately get knocked out, just like always.
who is EU? I don't think Rico and is High Barnet Raiders in Morello. I don't think they're playing next week, but or this week.
Mm.
Um, I think I looked
Uh,
at that.
High Barnet Raiders and Emerello? They're in different
No,
divisions.
sorry. High Barnet Raiders is Illogic. I couldn't remember who's
Yeah,
who's
yeah, yeah.
who the coach was.
Yeah,
Yeah, so they're not playing each other. Oh, but
no.
High Barnet Raiders and Sparta Praha are playing each
Mm,
other. Um,
that's the one that could be
so
the
that's the
big.
yeah that's the definitely the decider. They're
That would be the game to watch.
yeah, yep. Which we would know if we'd watched Rand's recap that happened earlier today.
That means watching a whole recap.
Right? Who wants to do that?
All right, that
All right.
wraps up this week. I'm excited to do next week's recap.
Oh yeah.
Um, it'll be a lot of fun to see what happens
Yep.
and
Get our playoff brackets sorted
mhm,
out and
and have our last recap of the season.
yeah, should be a good
It'll be
time.
fun.
All
Hmm
right. Well, I think maybe I'll sign off then. We'll call
hmm
this a recap.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Yeah.